rocket ship fast. So the first thing that we always do, which will be no different tonight, is pick the beer. So let's start off by doing that right now, because that's always important. All right, so there we go. So the first off, we have a choice. Now, these are all beers I think that we have seen in the past, perhaps with the exception of Northmen. I know Group of Seasons Greetings, the Canadian Pub Ale, has been a previous beverage. I'm not sure whether the Oyster Stout was on last month. I think it might have been. The Henderson Belgian Amber Ale is delicious. And then, of course, the Northman Blonde Lager. So, because time is of the essence, please tell me what I need to drink as quickly as humanly possible. And I will open it, and we will get the show on the road. Tom, you would go for the Henderson. Well, guess what? The good news is they're all Hendersons. So I think we're safe there. All right. So far, Northman seems to be winning. Hello, model railroad citizens. Good evening to you. Northman. Okay, so it's the Northman. So I'm grabbing the Northman. It's a blonde lager. You kind of think it should be a dark beer with a label like that, right? All right. Northman wins. Let's move on. I will, of course, drink it and pour it. But while we do that, it's been a bit of a crazy week around here. All right, tonight we have 4 beers. 2 I think are new, and 2 I think we've seen on the channel before. Let me tell you a little bit about them. As always, you will determine which beer I drink. We'll start off with the Winter Spice Blonde. It's a pear, apple, cinnamon, clove, biscuit blonde ale, coming in at 4.8% alcohol. After that, and this is, I'll tell you right now, this is the one I want to drink. So vote early, vote often. Group of Seasons Greetings. It's a Canadian pub ale, 5%, balanced, clean, and refreshing. If that doesn't tickle your fancy, the good old export stout, that's always a favorite. Dark, balanced, dry, and roasty, coming in at 7%. And please, please, please have pity on me, because I know you're always choosing the one that has the most alcohol. The Area, which is a bourbon barrel aged. Say that quickly. Bourbon barrel aged black saison with cherry, grape skins, and vanilla. It sounds absolutely delicious, but it's coming in at a wicked 9%. So if you want me to slur my speech more than I normally do, that's the one to vote for. So start voting, vote early, vote often, and I promised the guest in the basement that I would have him on pretty much after this. So let's see, we've got, well, the group of, thank you for voting for the, a Pilsner, okay. We got a Winter Spice. CP, thanks for voting for the Group of Season. And the reason is, and I'm not going to be able to drink. I'm never going to be able to read the label. Founders of Canada's first art movement, the Group of 7, are widely considered to be masters of Canadian landscape art. So this beer, I guess, is to honor the Canadian Group of 7. So that's what interested me about that. But let's see. So Mike says Group of Seasons. Hey, Anthony, that's great. Group of Seasons Greetings. We've got a Winter Spiced. Yes, the Area does look good. We got a Winter Spiced. Who said all 4? Jared, welcome. I promise you, as I promise every month, I will drink all 4. The question is, which order do I drink them in? Oh, thanks, hon. My wife is on. You know, dear, that I do have to get in the car and drive home to you after this broadcast. All right. Jeff Schultz. Welcome, Spiced Blonde. So I think, okay, I like this idea. So Joe Rader is suggesting that I give the 9% area to the guest in the basement. So I might have to do that. So let's see. Bruce, welcome. Bruce is voting for the area. ITLA. I will be discussing you later in the broadcast. Welcome tonight. All right. Option 5. Oh, Dave Hammer doesn't drink. I think I remember that. If you don't drink it, bring it to Springfield. I don't know whether I'm allowed to bring these across the border, but I will look into that. Maybe I'll have to ask our guest what the rules are. Sparky says, maybe after drinking many beers, the group of 7 painted better. I think they painted really well. Welcome, Sue, group of seasons. All right. Buffalo Bob, welcome. Molson Golden. All right. I think the Pierre is here. Wow, everyone's just coming in. Welcome. I'm going to drink the group of seasons because I want to. And the nice thing, Artie, and welcome. I'm looking forward to meeting you in Springfield for the first time. The good news is, and let me go full frame here. If I do ever get into a situation where I don't want to drive home, the home is about a 15-minute walk from the office, and I can leave the car. So it's not the end of the world. It's just kind of cold out. So this, and you can see it in all of its lovely color, is the group of seasons greetings. I will wish you all a season's greetings. And for those of you who have just joined, a Happy New Year. Oh no, we need to pick a beer. So there are 2 familiar beers here that you may have seen before, and 2 brand new ones. Rush, that is right. Right, John, you are. Rush is, and I believe we just lost a member of Rush, did we not recently? So the Rush beer, which I've had before, one of the favorites, it's a citrus pine dry spicy finish beer. They call it a Canadian Golden Ale, and it's 5.5% alcohol. It is always delightful. The other one that I've had, and it was absolutely fantastic, is this Black Hole Lager. And I remember talking about it. I'm not sure whether it was last month or the month before, but it's kind of like a stout or a porter, but it's not quite as strong. It's 5%, and it is just chewy and delicious. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay. Yes, Steve, we're going to be talking about the Circus Riot in a minute. Now, I will warn you, it's 9%, so don't expect me to chug it. But there's a story I'm going to share about that. So hang tight. Let me tell you about the King of Kensington beer. So I thought this was a beer celebrating the King of Kensington, which was a TV show that I grew up with here in Toronto. But it's not. It's actually a beer based on the person that the show was based on. And it's got a very interesting story. I'm not going to read the whole story now because I want to save time for the Circus Riot story. But the King of Kensington is a kosher salt rice lager, 4.5%. It's clean, crisp, and balanced. But that brings us to the Toronto Circus Riot. Now, I'm not sure this is the one I want to drink tonight. I suspect you're going to make me drink it tonight, but that's fine. So this is an Imperial Old Ale. It's 9%. Yes, that's right, 9%. It's described as nutty, raisins, caramel, and complex. But this is the story it commemorates. And I've noticed that Henderson has been doing more sort of Toronto content. And I remember I read this story about the Callbox beer, about, I believe it was a fire, a couple broadcasts ago. Well, listen to this story, friends. Listen to this. Are you ready? In 1855, Toronto was still a rough frontier town with over 200 bars, beer shops, and brothels, serving a population of roughly 40,000 people. Now, just to put that in context, so that was 1855. Today, the GTA, so the Greater Toronto Area, has roughly 7 million people. So a few things have changed since 1855. Okay, so back to the local government. The police, the firefighters, the city council were dominated by members of the Orange Order, and nepotism and corruption had become a real problem. The S.B. Howe's Star Troupe, Menagerie and Circus had come to town from New York State to perform near our St. Lawrence Market. And after a few successful shows, the clowns decided to visit, can you guess where they visited? A brothel at King and Jarvis. The brothel they chose was frequented by the local fire brigade, who were less than pleased with the clowns' arrival. A fight erupted between the firemen and the clowns won. Of course they did. And the clowns won, encamping for the evening to sample the brothel's hospitality. The next day, this is where it gets spicy, the firemen rallied all the allies they could muster and started a riot at the Big Top. Circus wagons were tipped over, animals were released from their cages, axes flew, acrobats jumped into the lake to escape harm. Ironically, wait for it, the firemen tried to burn the circus tent down. Eventually, the police broke up the riot. The circus pulled up their stakes and hightailed it out of Hogtown, otherwise known as Toronto. A few days later, the firemen appeared in court to account for the incident, but conveniently, none of the police, all of whom were Orangemen, could identify the instigators. This was the last straw for the good citizens of Toronto, who demanded an official inquiry. Soon afterwards, the entire police force was fired, the town cleaned up its act, and went on to be known as Toronto the Good. So there you go. And I love this label. Hold on. Yeah. That is one angry clown. Is that not? And there's the firemen burning down the Big Top. I mean, I'd heard this story before. It is well documented. But yeah, I mean, every mini prints, that we should hear. Hang on. Some of you have probably seen this before. There we go. You can now model the circus riot. So those are the beers. Those are the 4 beers that we have to choose from. What's it going to be? What should we drink tonight? If you tell me it's the circus beer, then I'm going to only have to do half of it because unfortunately I can't do a 9%er. But let's get your votes in quickly because we've got a jam-packed show, and I'm actually leaning towards the Black Hole Lager, but if you guys feel strongly, I will take the miniature. Okay, so Circus says Steve. Second one says Heath. Heath is being kind to me. The Black Lager. Steve is saying, okay. Mike wants me to drink Rush. Sean wants half a Circus. Yes, I guess half a Circus is better than none. Robin says Rush. So Rush. Oh, Rush is actually beginning to win. Okay, Rush. Oh, okay. Okay, well, what do you say? Should I do the Rush? Dave, why none of the above? Do you choose none of the above because you're not in front of the beer? Or, all right, well, I think I'm going to drink the Rush, although the Black Hole is really good here. I'll drink the Rush for now, and we're all winners. And I promise you I will drink the circus beer when I get home. All right. Oh, that's a good reason, Dave. All right. The Rush has won. It's in my lovely Royal Root glass that I got in Colorado. Cheers, everyone. All right. So we already have a vote before we've even started. So let me tell you a little bit about the beers. So the first beer here is Jumbo. It's leftover from last month's broadcast. If you haven't had a chance to see last month's broadcast, I was gifted some wonderful beers by some viewers at the Otter Valley pop-up event. This is a Railway City beer that I believe I was gifted by Forever DC. And it's Jumbo IPA. It's 6.8%. It tells the story, which we shared last month, of Jumbo, who sadly was a circus elephant who got hit by a train in St. Thomas, where Railway City is located. It's an American-style IPA, and it tastes like bold citrus, candied peach, warming, and staggeringly bitter. I will warn you right now, I'm vetoing this one. It's here because it's got a cool label. So let's see what we can really choose from. This is an interesting one. The Henderson, we'll call it the Belgian style amber ale. And I've got a little write-up on here that I will read to you because I believe this is one of their first international collaborations. It's 5.5%. Some time ago, we came across a delicious Belgian amber ale. I'm already excited, called Palm, P-A-L-M. So we rang them up and asked if they wanted to do a collaboration. A few phone calls later, and a plan was hatched. We'd brew their recipe here in Toronto with our yeast, and they would brew our recipe in Belgium with their yeast. The beer in your hand here is the first of these two international collaborations. So that's a pretty cool story right there. So there's the Belgian. The Winter Spice Blonde also has me salivating. And the write-up on this one is 4.8%. A blonde ale with spices such as ginger, cinnamon, and clove. In the words of brewer James Turco, it tastes like Food Truck, which is another one of their beers, made sweet love to a Christmas cake. Okay. That's kind of nice. And then finally, and I have to admit, I did choose this one for the label. This is the Cygnus X1. This is really cool. I'm going to need to put my Optivisor on to read this one to you. Back in 1971, a young astronomer named Charles Thomas Bolton was just another student at the University of Toronto. Bolton was particularly interested in the concentration of X-rays coming from the constellation Cygnus, and he felt pretty sure that he could prove it was a neutron star. Anyway, it's the first discovered black hole. Predicted by Einstein, many scientists didn't believe in black holes existed. Even Stephen Hawking bet against it. 20 years later, there was strong evidence. So basically, it sounds to me like a University of Toronto astronomer discovered the first black hole, Cygnus X1, and this is a black hole lager. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. We have our choices of, we'll call it Belgian Moose, Spiced Winter Blonde, or Black Hole Lager. What am I drinking tonight? We have a Winter Spice Blonde, we have a Winter Spice, we have a Black Hole. We do have Bigfoot, not here, but they still have it there. Let's go into the Black Hole. It looks to me like I think the Black Hole is winning. Okay, now we got a couple blondes. Okay, what am I reaching for? Am I going the Winter Spice Blonde or am I going the Black Hole? Somebody chime in. Wait, Greg says moose. All right. Winter Spice Blonde, I think it is. Non-scientific. Trust me, I will drink them all, but oh my. All right. Let me give you the quick pour here. And we'll get on with the show because we've got quite a lot. Oh, it is a light one. I guess it is a blonde. And I feel like I might have had this last year. But you know what? Winter Spice Blonde is probably a good choice for today, and I'll tell you why. Very nice. And you get the cinnamon and the clove. So thank you, everyone. So little story. Went up north today, and you'll see why in a minute. And I saw the first snowflakes of the year. Yes, it is November 1st. Happy November, everyone. Thank you for joining. And my wife and I were north of the city, and it was snowing. And that's the first snow I have seen this season. So in honor of snow, and I guess as they say on TV, winter is coming, we celebrate. So what's going on out there? Thank you. I'll tell you a little bit about tonight as I pick a beer. So let's go to the next slide. And let's get that back up on screen. Okay. So tonight, I went across the street and no, Sparky, it is not fruity beer night. We are not doing fruity beers tonight. The first beer that I've got here, it's a new one, and it's called Callbox. And I forgot to take pictures, so you have to bear with me. Callbox is, on a cold April night in 1904, a police constable on his beat noticed a smoke pouring from a window at the corner of Wellington and Bay. Oh, this is a little Toronto history that I'm sharing here. Oh, neat. Okay, I get this. Hang on. This is actually a little bit of Toronto history. This is cool. So I'm reading this right here. Okay. By the time he reported the blaze from the call box number 12, the smell of smoke was noticeable almost everywhere in the city of Toronto. The fire spread quickly, and by the time it was brought under control the next day, it had burnt all the way to the waterfront. Every firefighter in the city fought the blaze, and telegrams were sent to Hamilton and Buffalo with requests for reinforcement. The fire smoldered for 2 weeks as the cleanup began. Over 100 buildings were destroyed, causing $10 million in damage, $330 million in today's dollars, but amazingly, only one fatality. Find out more, and there's a little code. That's cool. So this is a little bit of Toronto history, and I've seen the pictures of the Great Fire, and it just wiped out every building. So that's really cool. It's number 88 in the Ide series. It looks to be about 5.3% alcohol. To drink, pull tab, tilts into glass. That's fun. To drink, pull tab, then tilts into glass. Okay, this is winning so far just based on clever. This is an old favorite, but I wanted to tell you about this. They had a Rush Day. So this is the old Rush beer that we've had on the channel before. But they had a Rush Day across the street on August 26th. I'm kicking myself for not going. Was I in town? No, I was in Texas. We'll get to that in a minute. They had 900 people for the Rush Day. The band did not show up apparently, but they did have games and trivia, and they played music, and they had Rush karaoke. If that's an annual event, I will try and cover it next year because that looks like a lot of fun. This, I just bought it for the label, picnic beer. This is probably the fruitiest, light beer with lemon zest. So don't make me drink that one. I'll probably bring that one home to Mrs. Miniprints. So that is, oh God, it's 3.5%. I'm not drinking this one. I'm not doing it. And then my absolute favorite for the night. So you got to see this one. So Bigfoot has left the building. Now, how perfect is this beer for Miniature Printerland, considering that one of our best-selling figures is our Sasquatch / Bigfoot. So this is a pale ale with something. I can't read it. But I just, once again, I went for the label. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. While you vote early, vote often, and vote now, I will tell you that tonight we are going to talk about the Texas show. We're going to talk about excitement and fun. We're going to talk, we have a special guest down in the basement right there, who I'm going to bring on probably in about half an hour to talk about a special event. And let's see what we got. All right, Bigfoot is a must. Bigfoot. I vote for the one in the glass. Thank you. Bigfoot, hands down. We got, oh, the wife is saying Bigfoot, 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 Bigfoot. Is Bigfoot 2 cans? No, Nissy J. Bigfoot is 1 can, but they did something kind of clever, is that they created the graphic as a wraparound. So you can see, and I arranged it there, that the building continues into it. So I suppose you could drink 2 cans of Bigfoot, but I believe the audience has spoken. And good evening. I see some new people. Dennis Do, yes, 2 beer night, that's right. Mike, HO Trains, welcome. Sparky 107, can I start deleting the ones that are not voting for call box? Yeah, I suppose you probably do have the power to do that, don't you, Sparky? I promise you, I will drink call box. I just think that Bigfoot honestly won hands down. But maybe I'll drink 2 beers tonight because, as I say, it's like 90 degrees out there. Okay, cheers, everybody. If you're looking for the color, ooh, it's really bubbly. All right, so here we go. The one in the glass did win, Lynn. So our first beer, and these are all from the brewery across the street, and happily they got some new beers in. So that makes my life a little bit easier. The first beer is called One Fine Day. It's a North American lager. And it says crisp corn, sweet malt, clean and straightforward. And if there's anything I like, it's clean and straightforward. The complete opposite of this broadcast. And it's 4.9%, so I will probably be all right if I drink that. And quite a lovely label. So One Fine Day. The next one on your list is a very Toronto beer. It's called the Six in the Sky, and it's called a Kolsch, Kolsch, which I have no idea what that means. It's 4.6%, floral spice bread, crisp finish, and the label is pretty freaking awesome. Let's just go, there we go. A little bit of Toronto content there, and it's really cold too. You can see the cold just coming off of that. The third one on the list is called Voyager, and I picked it because it's new. Citrus wheat beer. I don't know about that, but it's a citrus wheat beer, 4.9%, lemon zest, cracker, banana, and clove. So that could be good. I don't mind the banana and clove. And the last one I bought for my wife. I will not be drinking this. It can be unanimous. I will not drink this beer, no matter what. It is a dry hopped fruit sour. And I don't think fruit should ever appear in beer. But for some strange reason, people seem to like it. And it's a strawberry edition. So this is for you, darling. And I will not drink this ever, on air or off. But it does sort of have a cute label. And I know my wife likes the fruit beers. So you, audience, get to choose between the first three. So what will it be? Will it be One Fine Day? Will it be the Six in the Sky? Or will it be a Voyager? And please choose quickly because I'm very thirsty. It's a Kolsch kind of day. Okay, the guitar. In that case, Tart World. No way, Steve. Not going to happen. Anthony Borden, we will chat in a moment. My wife is smiling. I don't know what her vote is, other than the fact that she gets the Tart World. Everyone has to pick a tart now. Well, Sparky, you can pick it, but I'm not going to drink it. Okay, so we got In the Sky. My wife says One Fine Day. White Can. In the Sky. White Can. What was the white can? Is this the white can? I think this is the white can. My God, we're all over the map now. Jim says One Fine Day. Okay, so it looks to me like Jim, Dawn, my wife, Steve are all saying One Fine Day. So that's good enough for me. One Fine Day North American Lager. I like that. Good choice, everyone. So I've got my Royal Gorge glass here, and if you haven't seen the story behind this, go back a couple of episodes, because this is from Colorado, from the Royal Gorge route. And sorry to do this to you. If it's warm and toasty where you are, I suggest you drink along with me. And we've got some new people coming in. Hello, Ken. Hello, Darby Rail Services. Hello, Anthony. All right. Hide current comment. So there we go. And I'm going to say cheers. And let's get on with the show. we will talk more about that in a minute. Right now, I have to go through and figure out what I'm going to drink, because one of the things about having smoke in the air is it kind of gets your throat. Hey, Sydney, welcome. It kind of gets your throat a little sore, so I gotta hydrate, and I've got a bit of a thirst. So let's see, what do we have here? Nothing exciting, actually. I have to say, it's a little disappointed. Everything across the street is fruit beers. Like I think they must have overbought cherries, because there was cherry in everything. So, food truck, balanced, refreshing, thirst quenching, 4.8%. That's the first one. That's the lagered blonde. Then we've got Henderson's Best, which is an amber ale, moderately hopped, caramel and malt forward, balanced, smooth, and easy drinking at 5.5%, followed by a perennial favorite, Rush. I am drinking these, Ray, at very cold. They just literally came out of the beer fridge. So it's a little warm in here right now, but these were purchased across the street probably about 15-20 minutes ago, and they were in the bar fridge, and they are super, super, super chill, which makes me happy. So Rush is a Canadian golden ale, 5.5%, citrus pine, dry, spicy finish. And to end up today, the fourth choice, and by the way, I would be more than happy to drink all of these. Figo, an Italian Pilsner, refreshing, floral, aromatic, with a clean finish, coming in also at 5.5%. So I have my Royal Gorge glass right here, and let the voting begin. The band does kick ass, so the beer is very good. So it looks to me like we got a vote for Rush. Let's see. What else do we have? Is anyone else? Rush. All right. Sydney seems to be really eager to go with Rush. Tom says to go with Rush. I probably should play them, but I guess that'll probably get a copyright strike. James thinks I should mix them all. Chris says Rush. Mountain Goat, Rush. We got a couple votes for Best. Best is between Best and Rush. Best. But I think the winner right now, now a couple food. Drink them all. I might end up just like Toronto in a haze. That is a really great idea. All right. I think 27 say Rush. So there you go, Mike. It is going to be Rush. Let me just pour this here. Rush. And don't worry, I will drink them all. But there it is. Rush, Canadian Golden Ale. I believe this is official. Well, I know it's official, but there was some sort of story about the band, and it's not on the can, but you can look it up later. I think I saw a comment go by about sponsorship. While I pour this, Nathan, I think an idea you should get sponsored by a beer company just to have your beer. Yes. Well, maybe the beer company that is closest to me is across the street, and they already make a train beer, the Up Express beer, which I drank last month. So that was on the May broadcast. So maybe I can get them to do something for me. All right, everyone. Cheers. This is the Rush Golden Ale. Work to do here. You need to help me start the evening off with a beer selection. All right, everyone. As you know, if you've been here before, I present 4 choices that I will drink one of throughout the evening. So tonight, in no particular order, all from the brewery across the street from me, Henderson's, we have the following. We have a brand new beer, which I'm actually kind of excited about. Springtime in Vienna. It's a Vienna lager. It's 5%, and it's caramel bread crust, chamomile tea, and honey, which kind of sounds good. There is Life is But a Dream, which is 7.2%. I've had that one before. It's delicious. It's tart cherry chocolate roasty malts. The third one I'm actually bringing home for my wife. It's a special International Women's Day brew. It's a pomegranate grouse, 4.3% pomegranate da, is what it says. Saltine crackers, tart and dry. So that one I'm showing you, but we can't drink it because that's going to be for you, Holly, because I know you like pomegranate. And last but not least, I'm not a huge IPA fan, as you know. However, it did seem completely appropriate that because the video, you're welcome, hon, because the video coming in was of the Pearson Express, that is the official beer of the Pearson Express. So get your votes in. It's the springtime in Vienna, and it's very, very, very springy here right now. It's been raining for the last 4 days straight. The Life is But a Dream Cherry Stout, or the IPA, which I don't usually drink, but I will drink tonight because I started off with Pearson. So my wife says Vienna. Wigwag and Brian says Vienna. Joe Rader says I should drink them all, which I promise you I will. Life is But a Dream. Let's see. Life is But a Dream. Justice for Eve. That one I'm saving for my wife. Cherry Stout, Cherry Stout, Cherry Stout, Cherry Stout. My goodness. I think okay, we've got 3 votes for the Pearson, 4 votes for the Pearson. Looks like we got a lot of votes for the Cherry Stout, and we got a couple votes for the Vienna. This is going to be tough. It looks pretty much tied. Okay, well, I'm going to knock out the Pearson Express, the IPA. So, okay, well, I won't knock it out. Okay, so let someone help me break the tie. I've had Life is But a Dream before. So, all right, yeah. You know what? Kimon wins. Thank you for watching. I think, yeah, it's a train beer. You know what? And I'm not usually big on IPA, so I'm going to give an IPA a try. As I say, it's not usually my number one go-to, but I think it is a train beer. I did show the Pearson Express at the beginning. Yeah, it smells like an IPA. It smells like grapefruit. All right, let's see. Let's see what it says. All right, it says water, malted barley, hops, yeast, contains barley. All right. It's strong beer. Ooh, 6.5%. Holy moly. And it's Toronto style. It says right there, Toronto style. I don't know what Toronto style means, but there's the train on it. So in honor of a train, cheers everyone. And John, I'm glad you're here. Welcome, John. You will be making an appearance in a few minutes on the show tonight. It's not bad, actually. I mean, as I say, I'm not the biggest IPA fan in the world, but cheers, everyone. And this is, if you watched last month, this is the wonderful Royal Gorge Railroad route glass that I got in Colorado, and it works perfectly. See? Nothing spilled. Pearson Express, by the way, is 6.5% tropical fruit flavors, light pine and spice notes. And you know what? I think this is an appropriate beer, and I'll tell you why. Those tropical flavors kind of tie in to the first thing I'm going to talk about tonight. We've got, in no particular order, Henderson's Best, which is yummy. It's an amber ale. That's an old one. We have a new one called Whipper. Whipper is an English pale mild. It's 4.2% alcohol, and it's toffee, white grapes, easy drinking, and light bodied. So that sounds kind of nice. Followed by another one we've had before, the Rush beer. Citrusy pine, dry, spicy finish. That's a golden ale coming in at 5.5%. And on the very end, we have Life is But a Dream, cherry stout, tart cherry, chocolate roasty malt at 7.2%. So, Trackside Mike, I see that you've made your vote, so that's great. Bill Ford, looks to me like you've made a vote. They are fantastic designs. Mike, if you come and visit, I will take you across the street to Henderson's, and we will check out their designs. We'll also check out their beer. All right, Rush. Rush is, oh my goodness, I think Wigwag. All right, sounds good to me. So I'm going to open up this Rush beer right here before I get on with the program and introduce some special guests. Yes, that's right. Moments from now, there will be a guest. Now, oh, look at that. It is golden. I don't know whether I've ever had a Rush on there before. Life is but a rush. So let's have a little sip here. So there's the Rush beer. I think it's beer time. So I will go and do this. And I will tell you a little bit about the beers tonight. The first beer that we have is called Power Play. It was chosen for the label. It is a light lager. It's only 3.5%. Oh, there we go. Hang on. My mic is trackside mic approved. That's good to know. Nathan, thank you. This is great. Thank you, guys. I'm interrupting myself, but I appreciate the feedback, and I like it. I think sound is important. Okay. Not crazy about this one. You can vote for it if you want. It's only 3.5%. It's a little light for me, but it's got a nice label, and I will drink it. I think this one's been on the show before. It's a winter spiced blonde coming in at 4.8%. And I forget the write-up. I read it on the pregame show, but I remember it involved something like toasty and crunchy and yummy or whatever. Okay. Yes, Robert, and welcome. I'm sorry if I didn't say your name before. You can vote, but I'll tell you right now, this is the beer I'm going to drink. Sam Boney's. Get it? Sam Boney. He's on Sam Boney. English bitter, coming in at 4.8%. If you do not vote for the Sam Boney, you are not my friend. Greg Baker, you're my friend. And finally, rounding it out, I really should. Way to influence the vote, huh? There we go, everybody. Yes, there we go. All right, yes. Right, good. Yes, dear, Sam, everybody, Sam Boney's. Okay, and I promise you, I will drink them all. It's just not in the order. I'm not an IPA guy. I've told you this many times before. However, the write-up on the planets, and I'll have to look at it, but what is this? Oh, this is kind of cool. In the summer of 1993, the Toronto Planets took to the concrete at Varsity Arena, vying for the fledgling International Roller Hockey League's Murphy Cup against rivals such as the Sacramento River Rats, the Empire State Cobras, and the Edmonton Sled Dogs. Former Leafs Lou Franchetti and Dan Dioest made the Planet's starting lineup even though they had barely ever skated on inline skates. It's only my 6th or 7th time on the Blades, so I was a little nervous. Dioust, I'm probably not saying that right, Dioust, told the Toronto Star after his debut, I find stopping is very hard. Find out more at there. So it's a little story about Planet Cold IPA. But as always, you get the final vote. There are 65 people in right now. Everybody tells me that I should tell you to hit the thumbs up button. So if you are on YouTube, please give me a thumbs up. I don't know why, but apparently everyone says it. And if you are on YouTube and you're not subscribed to me, please do subscribe, because the minute I get to 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to do something I've only ever done once before, and that is put everything on the Miniprints website up for sale for 20% off. Let's take a little bit of time here. It takes longer to read the can than drink the beer. That is true. Okay, hi Trackside Mike, welcome. I didn't say hi to you earlier. I saw some numbers float by here. Sparky's good at doing this, 5520. So I guess those are my YouTube stats, and that means 55 of you are watching on YouTube and only 20 of you have hit that thumbs up. So as I go and crack this beer, I want to see those thumbs up go thumbs up. I don't know why, but I do. Okay, so let's see. Drinking beer while I go through all the entries to my contest. Oh, right, Sparky, that's great. Yeah, definitely want to hear about that. So I'm going to crack the Samboni beer here. Let's just do this. And then we're going to get on with the show. I know, boy, it's taking me longer and longer to get into the main attraction each time, isn't it? Ooh, there's right up on the Samboni too. Here. Okay, as I pour, quick vote. Do you guys want to hear the story on the side of the Samboni can? If you do, I will take a minute and read it. If you don't, I will not be upset, and we will move on to the attraction. Okay, Sparky, do you want to hear it? My wife says no. In no particular order. 12 kilometers through the snow, uphill, barefoot, both ways. These are all fine Henderson brews from across the street. I had this on air, I think 2 months ago, and it was absolutely wonderful. It's an old ale, and it is absolutely delicious, but it is 9.5% alcohol, so yikers. The Figo Italian-style Pilsner, we've seen that on the show before, and it is just a nice, light, crisp, Pilsner. Very nice. I think the Devil's Tuning Fork made an appearance last month, and I can't remember if that's the one I drank, but this, I think I did. It's a Belgian ale, 5.4%, sort of caramely, and a really beautiful label, and quite yummy. And there's a new one tonight, and you guys get to choose. However, I am rather excited about this one, so if you don't choose it, I will have to go drink it all by myself. And this is the Winter Spiced Blonde. And this one, and I didn't write down the tasting notes, I'd have to go back and look at it, but this one talked about all sorts of spices. That one caught my attention. Okay, so those are the four from this evening. I'll just put that back up there so you can see. There's the 12 kilometers, which I've had before. It is absolutely delicious, but it packs a punch. The Italian Figo, which I do like, but I don't know, Pilsner, it's kind of cold for that. The Devil's Tuning Fork, which I think is a definite contender. And then the new one, which I'm kind of hoping you'll vote for, but I don't get to choose. Pick this one. The Winter Spiced Blonde. Okay, so what do we have here? Bob says Winter Spiced Blonde. Good man, Bob. Sean said Winter Spice. Good man, Sean. David is supporting my decision. Heath is supporting my decision. Jeffrey is supporting it. Well, thank you all for voting early and voting often. It is the Winter Spiced Blonde. I was kind of hoping that you would pick that one. So let me just do some business here. Oh yeah, it smells spicy. I apologize. It is an absolute disaster here. Everything is in boxes on the way home from Springfield. I have not unpacked yet, so I don't have a glass to show you the color, but you can kind of see it as I pour it there. Now, 3 of these 4 beers are, well, all 4 beers are from the brewery across the street. Eduardo, Happy New Year from Mexico. I think this is, wow, you might be the furthest person on the stream from me, I have to say, because you might be very close to someone else who's on the stream. But that's very cool that you tuned in. This is an international affair, and thank you. Yeah, Wigwag's not here yet. That's true. Yes. Oh, we have a first-time viewer, I think, Trevor Marshall. I do have a brewery across the street, and you should come and visit because it's wonderful. And the brewery across the street has a selection of wonderful beers. You've seen these beers before, I believe, and they're all repeats with the exception of one, the one on the end. So let me tell you about tonight's selections. You get to vote for the beer I'm drinking, but there is a slight caveat. I will not be drinking the Beast tonight. And that's not me, before you all start, commenting and getting upset with me. I was told not to drink the 2021 Henderson Beast Bourbon Barrel beer if I was either A, drinking alone, or B, driving home, because apparently it is a beer that you split with someone in the comfort of your own home, and I signed a waiver to that effect. So you get to vote on the first three, but the fourth beer is so exciting, I want to share it with you. So let's talk about the beers as I pull up my tasting notes. Okay, so the first one, Rube Goldberg, is a Belgian triple. It is 9%. Yikers, that's a good one. And it's refreshingly complex, sweet, and spicy. The second choice for this evening is another beer that we saw, I think, last time. And actually, I was quite excited to try this one. This is a Belgian ale with coffee, cherry, and cranberry. It's a 5.4%. What more can I say? Cranberry caramel spice. So that sounds good. The third beer I think we saw last month, but I haven't had a chance to drink, and that's The Market, a blonde ale with barberries and black Persian lime powder. I remember saying that last time. Citrus, pepper, and biscuit, and it's a 4%. And then we get to the Beast. The Beast is barrel-aged imperial amber ale, malt, vanilla, toffee, whiskey, cherries, and oak. And I can guarantee that I will be drinking that, just not on the air, because you do not want to see me slur my words. And even if you do, I have to drive home. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen, start your voting. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to put this comment on the screen too, because I have to agree with you, Maurice. I like a good porter or stout or a dark or an amber or something that's got a little bit of like a red ale or something that's got a bit of flavor. But when they up the alcohol content to, anything for my money above 7, I like to have a few, and that kind of gets in the way. All right, so my wife, she has started off the voting with The Market. Nissy, The Market. Human City Junction, Heath, The Market. Lynn, The Market, since we can't vote for the Beast. You can vote for the Beast. Just to be clear, you can vote for the Beast as a second choice for me to drink tonight with dinner when I get home. But right now, right here, it looks to me like The Market, especially because, as Go Via, Go Home, Chris has identified, technically The Market does have an ET on the end, but if I just position it this way, it's Mark. So Mark, I think I will drink this beer with you in mind, because it is absolutely, this is actually the first time. There's always one in every crowd, isn't there? No, The Market is a clear winner, and it's interesting because this is the first time where I think there's been actually just such a unanimous verdict. I mean, oh well. Yes, the Beast will be for dinner. But for now, I'm going to pop this open. And we're going to get on with the show. Okay, so this was the spicy one, lime powder. Did anyone ever look up what a B-A-R-B-E, barberry? Anyone know what a barberry is? Because I think I asked last time. I don't think I found out what a barberry was. So I will tell you what it tastes like in a minute. There's the color. Here, we'll go full screen on this so you can actually see it. Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. They make good beer. Okay, on with the show.